Pattern herself after who? You're the role model there for what it's like to be a young woman. She's looking, she's watching. You don't want her to make these kind of choices. You want to show her that she's strong, that she's got weight, make better choices, and never tolerate that. You know, is her dad in her life too?
Yeah.
Okay, well, so he should be setting the standard too, okay?
Right.
All right, this is case number 24S010660M, people of the city of Southfield versus Corey, K-O-R-I, Davis.
Right, there was a parent got sick.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Jennifer Smith, key number 83034 on behalf of Corey Davis, who is present in the courtroom and standing to my right. Ms. Davis, please state your first and last name. Corey Davis.
Okay, Ms. Davis, you're here for a pre-trial. The charges here are malicious destruction of personal property. It's a 90-day misdemeanor with up to a $500 fine. And then you have resisting and obstructing the police. That is also a misdemeanor carrying 90 days and a $500 fine. So you understand the two charges, of course.
Yes.
And you certainly have a right to trial on those charges by judge or by jury with your counsel. And it looks like we were here once before and we adjourned it for some electronic discovery. So did you receive that?
I have, Your Honor, and I've had the opportunity to review that information, share it with my client, and also discuss the resolution to the matters which we have today.
That's correct. I think we reached an agreement whereby the city would dismiss count one of malicious destruction of property. And the defendant would plead no contest to count two, resisting and obstructing.
Okay, who has a police report?
I'm on, Your Honor, may I approach?
Sure.
Tabbed where the
Where it starts.
story begins.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so Ms. Davis, my understanding is that the offer made to you today was to dismiss malicious destruction of property. And you would plead no contest to the remaining charge, which is the resisting and obstructing the police. Is that what you'd like to do?
Yes, please.
All right, so let's go over the constitutional rights that you normally have at trial, that you're getting ready to waive because you're pleading today. And so if you understand these rights, all you need to do is say yes as I go over each one of them with you. And of course, feel free to pose any questions that you might have. Okay, so we're going to start with, again, the fact that you have a right to trial by judge, by jury, with your lawyer. And so you understand you're going to waive that right.
Yes.
But at the trial, you would have also had the right to subpoena witnesses, which means you have the right to ask the court to order witnesses to come forth, testify on your behalf. You understand you're waiving that.
Yes.
You also have the right to question any of the witnesses brought against you by the prosecution. You're waiving that. You have right to testify on your own behalf at a trial. But if you choose not to testify, no one can hold that against you. You understand you're going to waive that.
Yes.
Also have the right to be presumed innocent unless proven guilty. You have a reasonable doubt by the prosecution, which you waive.
Yes.
Now, if you're on probation or parole and you plead today, the plea could be considered a probation or parole violation. You understand that?
Yes.
And you did see and read the whole advice of rights form, went over with your lawyer.
Yes.
Have any questions about any of those rights?
Nothing.
Understand if I accept your plea, you will not have a trial, you'll give up those rights.
Yes.
And also understand that if you have a right to appeal and you wanted to exercise it, you'd have to appeal within 21 days of being sentenced. Request a lawyer within 14 days of sentencing.
Yes.
All right. And so you do understand resisting and obstructing the police,
Yes.
and you choose to plead no contest to that. Anybody force you or threaten you? No. You been promised anything else at all other than what we said on the record? Right. And are you pleading freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
All right, let's take a look at this police incident report. This is going to be Southfield Police Incident Report number 240036811, dated October the 8th, 2024. Location 28651 Commons Road, number 103, City of Southfield. Okay, well, let's see. It appears that there is probably a sufficient factual basis here to accept as no contest plea to the resisting obstructing the police on the date and location that I indicated previously. report does indicate that Southfield police responded to the location to assist on what they believe to be a domestic call. And let's see, when they got to the location, they spoke to someone that was an eyewitness that lived across the street named Miss Lee, who says that she heard commotion with the defendant, Miss Davis, yelling, "You're a bum," multiple times, and was out there having an altercation with somebody named Mr. Rice, who she was in a dating relationship with. Apparently, officers who did arrive were told that the defendant was in a red minivan. They were observed the vehicle and were able to pull behind it and escort Ms. Davis from the vehicle to speak with her. And as they were determining what happened, because she was giving one statement about the alleged assaultive things that might have occurred, officers were advised by Sergeant that Ms. Davis was to be placed under arrest for destruction of property and possibly domestic violence. So she was handcuffed, escorted to the rear of the patrol car, where she then refused to have a seat into the patrol vehicle and refused to put both of her feet inside of the vehicle and stated, "I am not willing." Officer said that he attempted to put both of her feet in the vehicle, where she then proceeded to kick the officer with her right foot in the center of his vest and his right arm. So that's the result of that, was this resisting obstructing police charge. Yeah, I think that's enough of whatever occurred out here. Yeah, you said that's factual.
Yes, people are satisfied with that.
You said that.
Defense is satisfied, Your Honor.
Okay, so the court also satisfied here factual basis for this plea. The court rules have been complied with, and that this plea is freely and understandably, voluntarily, accurately, and knowingly made. So I'll accept the plea, no contest plea to this resisting and obstructing, and I'll go ahead and dismiss the count number 1, malicious destruction of property. Okay, I knew this sounded familiar, so I had to check into it. She just got out of probation for domestic violence. I think Mr. Rice might have been the victim of that. What do you want to say?
Well, Your Honor, Ms. Davis is 34 years old. She's divorced. She has 5 children that she is tending to. She shares joint custody with her ex-spouse. She's currently residing in Walled Lake with her stepmother and her children half the time. I can confirm that Mr. Risen is the complaining witness in the previous matter, but it can also let the court know is that Ms. Davis has come to understand, if not before, definitely now, that her relationship with Mr. Risen is not healthy. It's not beneficial for her. In my conversations with her, she helped me to connect her with some resources for domestic violence herself. It's not uncommon that many survivors end up charged, and I'll just leave that at that. She's also come to realize through this current situation, in addition to her dating history with Mr. Risen, that she openly and admittedly struggles with alcohol. She has not drank any alcohol since the night of this event. She's taken steps to get herself to be more healthy. Specifically, she made an appointment with her primary care physician to discuss this and some of her concerns. Her primary care physician then referred her to a psychiatrist. She has an appointment scheduled for the 20th of November, where she'll be undergoing 12 sessions to discuss coping skills and triggers. From there, she'll then go into more intensive therapy. This is not her nature, typically. It's not her character, and it's definitely not who she wants her children to know her to be. I feel as though her relationship with Mr. Risen has definitely brought out some of the less desirable traits and characters. And Ms. Davis agrees with that and has, again, identified her need to undergo therapy to deal with some unresolved childhood trauma that is I think, being triggered by her relationships with what she's choosing in her life. I would ask the court to allow her to complete a short term of probation. And as a condition of that probation, she continue and follow through with the therapy that she's already scheduled to begin later this month. One thing that I didn't know, she's employed on a full-time basis. She's currently working for United Wholesale Mortgage as a reconciliation specialist, earning $16 an hour. She is looking for new employment. She's hoping to find a position in the Wall Lake School District where her children attend school, though we don't know what the outcome of that will be at this time, particularly with this court charge. That all being said, Judge, the fact she works full-time and she's a single parent, she's juggling a lot while trying to take care of herself. I'd ask you to keep that in mind when you're determining any kinds of service hours that you may require of her or anything in addition to above and beyond what she's already committed herself to do.
Well, Ms. Davis, now this is a crossroads for you. You gotta decide what you really want out of your life. And relationships can be bad for you, they can be good for you. And they can be addictive, they can be toxic. And you can be addicted to the toxicity of the situation. I don't know what your relationship is with Mr. Rising. I just know something seems like anything good's ever coming out. And you at your age, you got 5 children, you should know. You can't really force somebody to want to be with you. You can't force them to treat you the way you want to be treated or that you deserve to be treated. You can't stop them from dating other people. These are choices they have to make. They have to want to respect you. They want to have to revere you. They want to have to treat you like that, very nicely. And if he, and I don't know what the situation is, I don't know what he's doing, I don't know what causes these disagreements, get down to all of this violence and problems. But if he doesn't treat you that way, why do you want to be there? Now I understand that there's an element of what we call love, that sometimes we think it is, sometimes it might be. It could be an unhealthy kind of love. But do you have to ask yourself, do you deserve better than that? Do you as a person deserve so better? The only way you can heal from whatever it is that's going on with this man and you is to stay away from that man. Give yourself room to breathe. Give yourself room to reflect on your own behavior. Because you don't want to raise daughters, and I don't know if 5 of your kids, some of them are daughters, that are attached to some kind of toxic situation, and the guy is not treating them the way that they should be treated. You can't get them away from them, and you don't know why they keep going to this guy. And I don't know if he's abusing you. I just know that's what you're charged with. But he could be very well doing something to you too. I don't know. But right now we're talking about your behavior. And your behavior is such that it's not healthy. It's not healthy for you. It's not healthy for anybody that depends on you. You don't need a record. You're a young mother. You're trying to raise some children. This hurts your employment opportunities when they keep seeing things pop up. And some employers do check. So at some point, you just get, I just say when all else is lacking, you have any type of religious affiliation, pray on it. That's what I say. To release yourself from this desire to want to be with this kind of person. And eventually, time is a great healer. Time heals pretty much everything. But you got to give it time. You got to stay away. You got to want to get the therapy that you need to support your mental health. The therapy that you need to stay away from it if he's violent towards you. Get the therapy that you need to reboost your self-esteem. Because it's very easy for someone to tear your self-esteem down in a toxic relationship and make you feel this is all you're worthy of, but it's all you can get. You don't know what you can get because you're too busy wasting a lot of time on that. And there just might be a guy out there that's nice, that'll treat you the way you want to be treated, that'll take your children under, his wing. There are guys that do that. People say, oh no, you got too many kids. Well, for some people, you might. But for other people, you might not. Because if they care for you, they don't mind the package. But you're too busy focused on this kind of stuff instead of getting your focus together, developing your skills, getting your better employment if that's what you're looking for, or going back to school, developing yourself, getting stronger, realizing your self-worth. It's not worth it to fight somebody to try to make them to do something, tear up something, and then on top of everything else, don't even want to put your feet in the car with the police. Getting another charge you didn't even want. The police are not going to do that. They're just doing their job, saying, look, man, you gotta come do this right now. You don't do it, you get another charge. So some of this was avoidable for sure. So now is the time to start thinking. You just get out the other probation. Did we send you to either the weed program for women during that?
No, I did not do weed. You had mentioned it, but we did not.
You want to talk to other women just like you, doing the same thing. Of these things. Instead of crying down, it's okay to cry, but cry for yourself to pick yourself back up. You're in charge. You're in charge of everything about your life. Mr. Rising, he's only in charge of him. And just let that go. Just let it go. And he may very well call you back. But you're not gonna talk to him anyway, because I'm older, you not to talk to him. So beyond that, get your mind wrapped around it. You don't need to talk to that man about anything. How old are you?
34.
Okay, so you're like 20 years old.
Oh, no, that's his father. This is Junior. He's 37.
Oh, okay, so all right, good. The younger one. All right. Let him go. Let him develop himself. He should be 37. He should be on his way of determining what he needs to do for himself. And if you ever if he's meant to be your guy, he will change. And you will have changed anyway. And you might not want that. But if he's meant to be, he will change down the road. It's not going to be when you want him to be that. You will probably be done. And he'll come back and say, what, I thought about what we had, and I want this, and you might be involved in something else. That's just the way it ends up happening in life. By the time they see or they grow, he's got growing to do too. So by the time they see and they grow, you might have grown past it. But if you haven't, and it comes back to you the right way, then it's a meant to be. I don't see this right here being meant to be right now at all. And you keep coming back. That's what I said. This sounds real familiar. And then I looked and said, well, we just dealt with her on her DV case just recently this year. So think about this. This is for you. This is a rebirth. This is an opportunity to just be reborn. Look at it that way. Yeah, you got yourself into a pickle here. Yeah, you picked up new criminal charges, but not everything that looks bad is the worst thing for you. This might be the best thing for you. So the opportunity to just sit back, get reborn, and you're spending so much time with him. You're not thinking about the things that are most important for you and developing yourself and developing your children who are, I'm sure, how old is your oldest? So, yeah. Let's get to be a little grown lady there who is patterning herself after who? Yeah. You're the role model there for what it's like to be a young woman. She's looking, she's watching. You don't want her to make these kind of choices. You want to show her that she's strong, that she's got weight, make better choices, and never tolerate that. Is her dad in her life too?
Yeah.
Okay, well, he should be setting the standard too of, hey, you want a guy that's going to treat you like daddy, real good.
Right.
And so you have to really show her that that's what you're looking for too. But you got to get yourself together So this is just the time to take the time to do that. We're always so busy doing this, doing that, doing the other, and we don't take the time to work on ourselves. And with 5 kids, you don't have a lot of time, but you need to carve that time in and work on yourself. And so what we'll order here will be about you doing that. So don't look at it as a chore, something you gotta do for the court to get off the probation. Look at it as like, you know what, this is a new beginning. Hold your head high. Be the queen woman that you are. And just get yourself out of this message. And then by the time you work on you, then you'll be ready to get back into something else, a relationship wise. And then you understand that you'll never tear up anybody's anything. You'll never feel like you want to kill them because you know what you're gonna do. You're gonna discard them. If it's not going the way it should work, in civil conversation, you exchanging your thoughts on, look, you're not doing this. I'd like to see you do this better, or can we sit down and talk? If that don't work, what do they used to say? Boy, bye. Leave. Pick up the next person that's gonna do better for you. That's what you have to do. Because otherwise, don't spend like 10, 20 years. I know something about that. People that just, it's not a good fit. That's a waste of your time. Time means you're going. You can't get that back. So stop it while it's not working. And if it's meant to work, it'll come back to you. And it'll come back probably after you're off of this probation. Mr. Rivers, anything you want to say? Mr. Rising, have any statement or anything you want to?
No, Your Honor, one thing I would ask is, I've gotten no request for restitution, but if we could
What
leave
was
the
it for?
restitution.
For, what was it?
It was a door frame that was broken.
How you want to just leave that open?
Yeah, could you leave it open in case I do get any requests for restitution in the future? But other than that, I leave it to court's discretion.
Anything else you want to say?
You're right. Everything you said. I need to make better decisions and choices. And I haven't up until now, and I can't blame that on my childhood. I can't blame that on the stuff that he's done to me. It's me, and I need to take necessary steps to get the tools to behave properly when angry.
Right.
Yeah, and I haven't.
And work through it. Yeah. Yeah, I think you're on the right track. You know what you gotta do. But it's a little work. It's not easy. But we're all capable of change. We're all capable of developing skills that we need to get along, because there's a lot of impatience in this world right now anyway. People with zero tolerance for too much anything, including blowing a horn at them if they're about to hit you. People just want to fight. It's just what this, I don't know what happened. But when I came along, it wasn't like that. It's like that now. Everybody wants to fight about something. Nobody has any patience. So if you can start to develop those skills, it'll serve you well in your personal relationships, men and women, at work, wherever, that you will be able to say, this is not the way I want to resolve this. And I can't tell you how many times I've seen angry people saying crazy things and I just ignore it. Because you can't even get involved with that. You just can't. You just have to let them do their insanity.
Yeah.
And just know that you can't change it. You just can, but you can't change yourself and what you tolerate and how you react to things. So, all right. So on this one count of resisting or obstructing the police, I'm gonna put you on, again, 12 months of probation with $480 of oversight fees, $300 fine. Now, you could get off this probation in 6 months if in fact you complete everything. I really want you to think of this as your renaissance. I'm gonna send you to the programs that you didn't go to before. We're gonna send you to some counseling. We're gonna get you some psychiatric counseling, get you in there so that, you know, your mental health is better.
Right.
And so that you understand how to deal with these things and get you into the WEAVE program.
Thanks.
Okay, so, did you spend any time in jail?
That night.
Just one day?
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna give you credit for one day. I'm gonna give you, just one day of community service, because I really want you to focus more on these other programs. So that'll be at a nonprofit agency. Of course, no alcohol or unprescribed drugs. Make sure you're clean with that. Are you already in psychiatric counseling now?
No, I made an appointment that my primary doctor referred me to a psychiatrist, and that appointment's for November 20th at 8:30. And I have like his phone number, the doctor's phone number.
Dr. Kenneth Smith,
Not related to you.
no relation, Judge, no. Unfortunately.
Okay, all right, so we'll order, we'll have you go to the Domestic Violence Redeem or Weed program. They're both very similar. Psychiatric counseling with Dr. Kenneth Smith. You'll probably have to sign a release for him to report to us that you're at least in there and that you're doing well. I'm gonna send you to, anger management classes, the extended ones version. Maintain your employment. Pay a $75 crime victims' rights fee. We'll leave restitution open. If he gets a request, they'll let us know if they're asking for anything to replace the door frame. And a $200 counsel fee. You do not have a bond, so there's no money to apply at this point. You'll get a chance to work off this during the course of probation to pay it. And I'll give you, if you got time, if you want to try to do additional community service work in lieu of payment, if you're having trouble paying, you could do that, and we would give you credit for $10 for every hour over the first day that you do.
Okay.
Towards fines and costs. Okay.
Judge, in regard to the psychiatric therapy, instead of specifically naming Dr. Kenneth Smith, could we utilize the name of the facility? Just that way, Dr. Smith needs, for some reason, she can stay at that facility just with a different position.
Sure.
It's Henry Ford Alliance.
Henry Ford Alliance. Okay. Very good. All right, so that's gonna complete the sentence of the court. Here's the no contest paperwork. Please report back to Ms. Smith's file.
Judge, are you gonna order no contact between?
Yeah, no contact with Mr. Is it Junior?
Yes.
Andre Rison Jr.
Yeah.
And if he tries to contact you, just don't respond back. If he comes over unannounced, don't open the door. You know, just let it be known that you're done. Block him. Give him something to think about too. All right, you're good.
Thank you.
Okay, do we have this clerk?
Judge, we call it a steel net.